Hi everyone. Today I wanted to share something very personal with you guys because I want to make this public and I want to get it destigmatized and explain how it feels. Recently, I found out what was impacting and shaping my life so much, and I finally got diagnosed, and it wasn't a simple depression. That I actually was suspecting that something different was happening, and because of the medication that I was being prescribed. And I recently got diagnosed with a borderline personality disorder. For those of you who don't know, I don't even know how to explain it because I would have to explain all my life, and all my life seemed normal for me, but it was very unbearable many times. And there would be no one who could explain to me why. And now it feels like such a simple thing when finally you found that last piece of the puzzle under the carpet and it just clicks in and it all makes sense. And I've been getting informed about this diagnosis and what it actually is. And thankfully, I'm not some kind of a psychopath, but it just means that my brain doesn't work the same way that normal brain should work. And apparently also the amygdala is smaller. So it reacts more to stress and to read the signals. And every signal I read, I tend to read it negatively. But not to get into this more sciencey explanation stuff. I just wanted to let you guys know that I have, I think, never been more elevated during a very bad period. I'm living a roller coaster. It's like ups and downs that don't stop, and the ups are obsessively good. They don't last long, and then the downs are worse than bad, way worse. And to be honest, when I was told what the psychiatrist finally concluded after observing me for a year, I didn't get scared. Or I know that sometimes it's like, well, I can tell you the first reaction of my mother was, oh my God, do not tell this to anyone. This just makes me very thankful to my partner, who is the most generous, the most amazing man I have ever met, and who has been there for me. And he was present when I was given the diagnosis. And now I can finally start the treatment, the like real treatment, because the psychiatrist, she told me that she was suspecting it, but first we were dealing with a depression that was just not reacting to any kind of medication, and it was just random ups and downs. And my partner was there for me, and he told me that he would stay for me through bad, through thick and thin, through good. I am actually relieved to know that there was something wrong and that this wrong can actually be managed, and I can live a stable, emotionally stable life. For years, I lived with this feeling like I was never fitting in. Everyone was like avoiding me, and I think when I started my YouTube channel, it was a way for me to I had a lot of positive comments, and it was a way for me to not feel so lonely, because I do feel ridiculously lonely. I lost all my friends, the ones that I had, and I always felt different, but I couldn't pinpoint why, and I always thought that there was something wrong with me. And well, it kind of is, but it isn't at the same time. And to be honest, I felt like I was in the wrong line. Everybody else was in the line where they were handed a manual for how to actually live life, and I was in the wrong queue, standing there, and it ran out just before I got to my turn, and they gave me something completely in a different language that I didn't understand, and I didn't understand how to fit in. And for 37 years, yes, I'm that old. I'm older than internet. For 37 years, I have been carrying this thing like a heavy boulder of not fitting in, not knowing why, not being able to build my life, just trying to push through. And at the end, it got so bad where I just crumbled emotionally. And I am actually thankful to my workplace where I used to work, the last workplace, for pushing me to that limit, because otherwise I wouldn't have gotten to it maybe ever, and maybe I would struggle through it through all my life, not getting to a point where I needed professional help. And all I can tell you is that it feels emotionally draining, exhausting both emotionally and physically. And you can never get rid of that feeling of inadequacy and always thinking that people think the worst of you. You never fit in. You never feel like you're okay by on your own. Now I understand all those like addictions when with relationships, why it was so difficult for me to leave my husband for such a long time. It took me 3 years, and why I was living a constant roller coaster of emotions and understanding that it's not normal, that it doesn't have to be that way. And I can tell you one thing, that when you feel the highs, it's like you sleep 4 hours a night and you feel like you can move mountains. Everything you do, it just, you can do. I enrolled into 4 different drawing courses. I was doing 4 different drawing courses at the same time and I was managing everything. But when you're in the low, the feeling of emptiness, the feeling of being unable to live with yourself, of hating yourself, of thinking, why am I even here? What am I doing? I'm just like messing up everyone else's life. And there is nothing in the world you can enjoy. Nothing that brought you joy before does it anymore, and you don't understand why. And I can tell you that it involves a huge amount of emotional pain. And this emotional pain, I've seen one video of one doctor referring to it as if you tear a band-aid off and it can hurt for like a couple of seconds. For a person with borderline personality disorder, ripping off this band-aid leaves a burning feeling for the whole day, and it never passes. It doesn't get better. And when you see someone, you start to kind of idolize them, and or you get completely and totally disappointed in them. And when you see that somebody is actually, I don't know, treats you a bit colder than usual, but they don't have anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with the relationship or anything. You start instantly thinking that they hate you, that what have I done? And you kind of sabotage the relationship by yourself just by feeling that immense pressure of, oh my God, I did something wrong. There's something wrong I did, that person doesn't like me anymore. I don't know, maybe this sounds a bit hectic, all of it, but a person who has been through this will totally understand, because you see pain where there is none. And all my life, I've been told, well, suck it up. You're like, don't take it too close to heart. And now I understand why I couldn't follow this advice. I couldn't suck it up and not take it too close to heart, because my brain is not wired the same way. It doesn't work the same way. And I just thought that everyone else feels the same, but they manage it better. But now I know that it's not true. And now I know that there is treatment, and I don't consider that there's something wrong with me. I consider that I'm just different. Everyone is different in a way. Well, this is my way of being different. This is my way of living my life that I want to change. And I just want to say that if you're feeling that something might be wrong, you're not paranoid, or when you just don't fit in, when you feel like you're ostracized and you don't know why, what is it that you're doing? I think it's paranoia at the end of the day. And when you feel intolerable pain emotionally, that physical pain feels like nothing, seek help. It took me a very long time to get to this point. I truly wish I would have known it sooner. I wish that my life were different in many aspects, starting with the childhood, but I love my parents dearly, but it, I can't change that. The only thing I have left to do is to accept it and to learn to live with it, managing it with medication, with therapy, and trying to level things out for the first time in my life, trying to feel level, not the extremes, but level. Yeah, this is kind of my confession to make, and I guess this is my way of not being able to deal with the fact, especially with the fact that my mom told me, do not tell this to anyone. Oh my God. I want to scream it to the world so that other people like me know that they're not alone, not ashamed in any way, not feeling like some kind of a person with disability or person with a disease or person with some kind of broken brain. No, it's me, it's my way of being, and if I can make myself feel better and make myself feel more level and continue pursuing my dreams without going into, oh my God, I'm gonna, like, as I said, like move mountains with just looking at them and falling deep into this void of seeing the world as completely black and seeing no hope in it at all, because it is a very scary place to be. I just want to say that you are not alone. Every person has their own things. I ended up to have this thing, and I am so lucky that I have my partner, Jesus, who is there for me. I can't describe how not only the feelings that I have for him, but how grateful I am for his support. And I know that posting this on social media is gonna cause some kind of backlash at the end of the day and not gonna do anything good for me probably, but can't keep quiet. I just want to scream about it and say that I wasn't wrong, that finally I have the answer, and I hope that in the future I can continue with my life in a much better quality, in a way that I was maybe supposed to live it since the very beginning, but I didn't. And I know that it's going to take time, but getting this diagnosis was something that just, it just fit that last piece of puzzle that just wouldn't click in. Yeah, I'm rambling now, and this probably, but I wanted to say thank you to anyone who watches this video. And if you know someone who's struggling the same way, please let them know that they're not alone. Because this feeling of loneliness, this feeling of not not being like the rest of people and not understanding why the world doesn't quite accept you is just difficult. If you see yourself with similar symptoms and you don't know what's wrong with you, seek help. It took me a year to get diagnosed after I actually started the psychiatric treatment. And here I am, talking out loud to the whole world. And to be honest, come what may, but if this video is going to help at least one person find something in common, because just just that is going to be enough. Yeah, that's the video for today. Hope I didn't take much of your time, and thanks for watching as usual. I'll get back with more drawing videos as soon as I feel better, and I will finally be able to do this thing that I love without going into obsession and then complete destruction of my inner world. Yeah, I will be seeing you in future videos. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you soon.